Hello dear students, welcome to English class. I hope you are doing great. So students, in this class I will continue with the exercises of chapter 4, that is why do bees buzz. So in the last class I had explained the comprehension portion as well as I had explained the chapter. So in this class, in this session, I'll be explaining the language structure that is given on page number 31. So let's start with the language structure. So the first question is regarding antonyms. Students, you have already done the questions based on antonyms in your previous classes. What are antonyms? Antonyms means opposite words. They are called as antonyms. So what you have to do, write the antonyms of the following words from the help box. So there are 10 words given and you have to write the antonyms of these words. That means you have to write the opposites of these words. And for your help, a help box is given and there are 10 words given. So you have to select the appropriate word and write the antonym of each word. So let's start with the first one. The first word is silent. Let me take my pen. First word is silent. So what will be the antonym of silent? The antonym of silent will be noisy. That means this. I'll just write one. Silent, noisy. Second, clever. The antonym of clever will be foolish. That is given here. So 2, foolish. Third, sharp. So antonym of sharp will be blunt, which is given here. Number 3, blunt. Next, limited. Limited will be plenty. Limited means present in small quantity or small number, and plenty means in abundance, means बहुत सारा, that means plenty. So this will be your number 4th. Next, 5th, shallow. Shallow, deep, which is given here. 6th, joy. So the antonym of joy will be sorrow, which is given here. 7th, innocent. So antonym of innocent will be guilty. Guilty means somebody who has done something wrong or the culprit. That means guilty. Next, question number 8. Grow. Grow, shrink, which is given here. Shrink. 9th, found. So it will be lost, and the 10th one, late, will be early. So I hope that this question is clear to you people. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is sound words. You have just read about how bees move by producing a buzz sound. As I have told you in the chapter that bees make a buzzing sound like this, buzz, this way. So the sounds produced by some objects have special names. So students, the sound means whatever sound is produced by certain objects, they are given special names. So this question is based on the sounds only. So for example, leaves rustle. So the sound of leaves is called rustle. Thunder claps. Snakes hiss. So these are the sounds made by the animals as well as these things. So what you have to do, identify the sounds of the following objects and fill in the blanks. So there are 5 words given and here is a help box provided, and from this help box you have to select the appropriate sound and fill up the blanks. So the first one is fire. So the sound of fire is called crackles. So fire, crackles. I'll just do this way. I'll choose another pen. Fire, crackles. Next, second, guns. So guns, what do guns do? What kind of sound they make? So they make a boom sound. So guns, boom. Third, wings. Wings flutter. Fourth, drums. Drums beat. And last one, swords. The swords swish. This kind of sound is made. So I hope that question number B is clear to everybody. Now let's move to the next question. So now let's move to the Grammarly portion. So the first topic is relative pronouns. See what you have to do. First of all, you need to understand that what are relative pronouns. So I'll make you understand, I'll explain that what are relative pronouns, and on the basis of this, on the basis of relative pronouns, you have to solve this exercise. So let me explain you this. So pronouns that refer or relate to some nouns that go before and join two sentences are called relative pronouns. So what are relative pronouns? Relative pronouns are the pronouns that join two sentences. First of all, they join two sentences and they relate to some other nouns that go before, और वो they relate to some other nouns. वो related होते हैं nouns से, या वो relate करते हैं nouns से, और वो दो sentences को join करते हैं. They join two sentences and also they show relation with the nouns. Sorry. So first of all, they join two sentences and they show the relation with the nouns used before the relative pronoun. वो relation show करते हैं nouns का, जो उनके nouns उसके पहले relative pronoun के पहले जो noun होता है उसके साथ वो relation बताते हैं. This is the first point. And second, they join two sentences. वो दो sentences को join करते हैं. So they are called as relative pronoun because they show relation. So we have four relative pronouns that we are going to study. That is that, who, whose and which. तो ये चार relative pronouns हैं जो हम लोगों को आज पढ़ना है. So the first one, that. That is used in reference to persons, though it can be used for referring to things as well. तो अगर हम लोगों को persons को denote करना हो या refer करना हो, then we use which relative pronoun? Then we use that. And we can also refer to the things also, not only to persons but also to things. हम लोग persons के साथ साथ things को भी relate करने के लिए we use this relative pronoun that. This is the first one. Second is who. Who as a rule is used for persons only. It can be both singular as well as plural. Sometimes it is used for referring to animals. So students, as per the rule, हम लोग who basically persons के साथ use करते हैं. We use who only with persons, only for persons. That can be both singular as well as plural. But sometimes we use who for animals also. Generally we use it for persons and sometimes for animals too. Next one. Next is whose. So whose is used in speaking of persons but sometimes of things without life. Things without life means non-living things. It is also sometimes used as a substitute for of which. तो हम लोग substitute means उसकी जगह पे हम लोग of which की जगह भी कभी कभी who का use करते हैं. And one more point students, that who is used in order to show possession. Possession दिखाने के लिए या ownership. What is possession? Possession means ownership, that something belongs to a particular person. A particular thing belongs to a particular person. For example, this house is mine. ये किसका house है? ये मेरा house है. So I am showing ownership. ये मैं उसकी owner हूँ. So in order to show ownership or in order to show possessions, we use this word who. Whose. Next one, last one, that is which. So which is used in case of non-living things and for animals. It may refer to a singular or plural noun. So students, we generally use which in case of non-living things. हम लोग non-living things के लिए and animals के लिए which use करते हैं, and it may be singular or plural. So I hope that all the four relative pronouns are understood by everybody. So now let's move to the first question. That is question number A. Insert the appropriate relative pronouns in the sentences given below. So there are 8 sentences given and you have to insert the appropriate relative pronouns. We have studied 4 relative pronouns. So you have to fill or you have to insert those appropriately. So the first one, the crowd dash had gathered was rowdy. So the crowd, we are talking about people. So the crowd that had gathered was rowdy. I'll just do, yes, the crowd that had gathered was rowdy. Next, I sent for the child dash appeared at once. So we are talking about a particular person, and with persons we use who. I sent for the child who appeared at once. Next, the moon dash gentle light is a relief from the sun is regarded as a mother. Students, in this question one mistake is there. Moon has to be in capital letter. See, moon and this word sun, it has to be in capital letter. So the moon dash gentle light, we are talking about the gentle light of moon. That means we are talking about possession, and in case of possession we use whose. So the moon whose gentle light, whose gentle light is a relief from the sun, is regarded as a mother. 4. He said he had seen me running dash is a big lie. Which is a big lie? For 5th, this is a house dash Jack built. So this is a house which Jack built. House, we are talking about house, which is a non-living thing. So with non-living we use which. The girl lost her ring dash was made of gold. So we are talking about the ring, which is again non-living. So we'll use which. Next, 7. The tiger dash was caught last week has been sent to the zoo. So the tiger which was caught last week. In case of animals also we use which. Last one. I saw a man dash head was bald. So we are talking about man. Man's head means we are talking about something in possession. So I saw the man whose head was bald. We are talking about the man regarding his head. So that will come under possession. So we'll use whose. Next, let's move to the last question. The last question is indefinite pronouns. Now what are indefinite pronouns? The pronouns that do not refer to any specific noun are referred to as indefinite pronoun. वैसे pronouns जो किसी भी specific nouns को refer नहीं करते, if we are not talking about any specific or any particular noun, then such type of pronouns are called as indefinite. Indefinite means something that is not definite. We are not pointing out to a specific noun, or we are not referring to a specific noun. So these nouns are called as indefinite. So these pronouns are called as indefinite pronouns, and the examples are some, any, each, everyone, nobody, somebody, etc. So on the basis of this we have one exercise, the last one. Choose the correct indefinite pronouns from the bracket and fill in the blanks to complete the following sentences. So there are 6 sentences given, and you have to fill up these blanks using appropriate indefinite pronoun given in the bracket. The first question. I didn't see my friend at the gym. In fact, I didn't see dash there. Someone there or anybody there. I didn't see someone there. Someone is not appropriate, so anybody. Where is my pen, my digital pen? I'll use blue color. I didn't see anybody there. Second, please tell the salesman at the door that we don't want to buy dash something, anything. We don't want to buy anything, or we don't want to buy something. We don't want to buy anything. Next, dash was invited to the party but only a dash came. Everyone was invited to the party, or all was invited? Everyone was invited to the party but only a dash came. But only a all came, not appropriate. Only a few came. What is the meaning of few and a few? What is the difference between few and a few? A few means some, and few means almost none. So this is the difference between few and a few. Next, fourth, dash has the same book. Nobody has the same book, or some has the same book. Nobody has the same book. Fifth, although they looked for the rare flower dash they found it dash. So although they looked for the rare flower, everywhere or none, everywhere they found it dash. Somewhere or nowhere, they found it nowhere. And the last question, question number 6. Dash is here to see you. Anyone is here to see you, or someone is here? Someone is here to someone is here to see you. So I hope that all the exercises are clear to you of language structure as well as grammar glee. So we'll meet in the next class with another chapter. Till then, study well, study properly, work hard, enjoy, eat properly, do some physical activities, and be safe. Bye bye, take care. We'll meet in the next class.